afternoon, everybody, or close to afternoon. Beautiful day, like you said, Dylan. We're really excited to continue what we've started roughly about 3 years ago. Um, uh, with that in mind, just a few things we want to cover prior to really getting started to the main focus of why we're here today. 3 years ago, we really had a great opportunity, and I think we've taken the best advantage of it as we could. We've really kind of topped it off this past season, and congratulations goes out to the city itself for supporting us, um, the players, the coaches, the staff, and everybody else that had a hand. We'd like to say thank you because there's no way we could have done what we've done without the support in the many different areas. We had roughly about 32 sponsors that really supported what we did at different levels and really helped us to move forward. And the upcoming season, which we're really excited about going in as the defending champs, we're excited to go in with a vigor and drive to make sure that we improve ourselves. And one of the things that we had to do is prepare for that. Both the staff and the coaching staff and players, they've all been given a challenge. That simple challenge is do better than what you did before and improve in areas where need to be improved and just continue to improve. With that in mind, I got two really important announcements that follow a great season that I think we had. I think the coach itself during the season, along with the staff itself, just took on a great amount of responsibilities to make sure that we really reached the pinnacle and came home and brought a championship in very tough times. Along with that, the players also had a great amount of improvement, development, and obviously they were the guys on the court that really made great strides and improvements. And so we're really proud to be a part of that. We're really proud to be able to just share the same stage with these guys. I look at Coach 4 years ago, or 3 years ago when the idea and concept came about and we were recruiting for a coach, and we interviewed roughly about 12 different coaches, and Coach, they say the cream rises to the top, and I found myself being interviewed rather than interviewing. So things like that. And then later on, when he began to select players, and we constantly had to make adjustments. I think, Bob, you were there and asking a lot of questions. And why did you guys make changes? Well, we made changes because we wanted to improve. And today is a good example of that. The announcements that we have are simply based in that we got to improve. We got to get better. I look at DeAndre, and when he got here for season one, but he got here towards the end. But he came in with a particular attitude that he wanted to win, and he was serious about it. And he came in with a lot of energy, emotions, and coming from two other teams previous, he came in with a past, and the one underlining thing that was there for him in his past was that he was a performer. When you put him on the stage, he performed. And that's where it counts. You get on that court, and it's time to perform. Anybody and everybody understood that when the big man was on the floor, he owned it. I think today's announcement really fits very well in our improvement, because if you look at DeAndre and his decision to return this year early before season end really speaks to his character growth and improvement. It also shows that Coach being able to really put a lot of energy and growth in the guys allows us to be able to do things like today and move forward. So with that in mind, the two announcements are very simple. I'll start with the organizational announcement first. The organizational announcement is Coach Bill Jones, who's been an excellent top performer both in the league and also Coach of the Year, who should have been Coach of the Year last year as well. Just a great performer. He's been moved to not only be the head coach, but the director of basketball operations. And the reason that he's been moved to do basketball operations, it's a natural fit, number one. Number two, he's been doing the job since day one, and kind of directing the staff that was doing that position anyway. With that in mind, we also need to make sure we keep his growth and development in mind. So head coach and director of basketball operations, really focusing on things like player personnel, a lot of the operational things that focus on the players and where they live, how they interact, their development, everything will fall under coach. And he'll be supported by a great supporting staff that has supported us overall for the last 3 years roughly. So that announcement, guys, before we move forward, let's give Coach a round of applause because that's really important to us as an organization. Coach comes with an impeccable history from a professional basketball player in the NBA to professionally playing overseas in roughly 4 or 5 countries, bringing championships with him everywhere. So I no need to really continue to let you know that his accolades speak for themselves, and awards and accomplishments. I don't need to say anything. He's just continued that. Our expectations is that Coach will continue that, and ultimately when he moves forward, or if he decides to go somewhere else, he takes me with him. So hopefully not, but we're blessed to have Coach on staff and to continue to grow and develop both himself, the players, and the organization. Our second announcement, which is pretty clear and cut, but it comes with a lot of growth and development. When we talk about DeAndre, and I'll let Coach get into the heavy details of it, but when we talk about DeAndre, we brought someone special. People in Windsor really fell in love with several names they gave him. I'm not sure which one he really prefers, so I won't attach one. But his personality, his energy, his toughness on the court really speaks for itself. He's become the enforcer. He changes both on the court and off the court what we do and how we do it, and we're really proud of him. And that's our second announcement, is that DeAndre made a decision before season ended that this is where I want to be, and that takes a lot of courage. And we're really happy today to say that the big man is leading the way with the decision on our roster to sign first, and that's really important. You definitely cannot have a solid squad unless you have a solid center core like DeAndre, and Coach has done an excellent job at really mentoring, developing, and making sure that he's ready to go on and off the court. We really got some special things planned for Mr. DeAndre, and we're excited about it. He steals the show when he's in, and we're happy about that. So I'm going to let Coach just kind of go through some things for himself and DeAndre as well. And Coach, it's in your hands, boss.
All right, thanks, Dardis. Thank you guys first for coming out to our press conference to listen to our new announcements. Number one, it's always about the players for me. My accolades and all those other things always come secondary. So it's about DeAndre. DeAndre is being the anchor to our team. Like Dardis spoke earlier about his development. You know, I remember DeAndre when he first came towards the end of our first season, came from London, came with, like Dardis said, some baggage. But my goal with DeAndre is to make him a better person, not a player. He was already an outstanding player. And I remember after one practice, I told him that, I don't know if he remembers this, that you know what, man, I'm watching you. I just want to see, you know, how you conduct yourself. I've heard a lot of things, but I'm watching you to see if you'll be a part of our future. And to be able to watch him and going through our trials and tribulations, we had a couple confrontations, but at the end of the day, you know what, he proved to be a mature young man who I wanted to anchor the team that I coached, and to be able to have him come back this year to also watch his development. You know, he did have some struggles during the season with the referees and then a couple of incidents, but you know, towards the tail end, he really got it. He said that this is what he wants to do. He wants to play basketball, and he knows he has a great opportunity here with the Windsor Express, and I see his maturity, and with that maturity, we'll be able to give him a different role in terms of leadership, to come on and be our anchor, to be able to lead our younger players. He's one of the veteran guys on our team, so he'll be able to lead our younger guys and telling them the right ways to go and to try to learn from some of the mistakes that he had. So I'm proud of DeAndre to definitely step out in the forefront and be the first guy that we sign going into next season. The state of our basketball team is we're constantly trying to get better. I remember as I was, trying to prepare myself for the press conference, I remember going over to the YMCA and taking this job. I knew the type of person that I was. I knew my work ethic. I know what I'm able to bring to the table and my history. And it was about championships. And we wanted to win that championship the first year. Well, we weren't able. But we came back with the same goal and the same mission. And we were able to take care of business this past season. And we want to go ahead and prepare ourselves going forward to try to repeat. Dartis always say we were the team that people, we were shooting. But now people are going to be shooting at us. And we got to get prepared for that. The new role for me in terms of basketball operation, that's part of my development. I aspire to do great things. Definitely here to lead Windsor into another championship and lead this organization into first-class status, but then also my growth too. So being bestowed this honor to be director of basketball operation is part of my development, and I appreciate the organization for recognizing that I want to grow as a coach and then also in administration too. So thank the organization for that. Our role is to find players. We're now with DeAndre signed, I think the dominoes will fall and trying to get our core to come back. I mean, core is definitely important for us to go ahead and try to repeat as champions. And then also the familiarity with the community. The community loves DeAndre. They love Stephon Bernot. They love Darren Duncan. They love Chris Common. So our job as an organization is try to bring those guys back so that we can go ahead and do it again with that core who people have gotten familiar with. But then we also need to upgrade some positions. So be leaving out tonight to go out to Vegas to try to recruit some players and try to bring some more players into our fold to be able to go out and get that championship and bring it back home. And I'm just happy. I love Windsor. I enjoy coming over every day. I enjoy the community. This is the first opportunity that I had to be a part of coming to a lot of the events. I mean, Windsor Express are in the community every weekend, every day, and I enjoy going out, meeting the people, and trying to build our brand. And that's what we're about, and we appreciate you all for putting us in, out there in the forefront. Bob, Mary, and all the other people, Dominic, taping this press conference to get us out there so that we can build our fan base. Thanks, Dylan. Dylan, man, I really appreciate you. I want everybody to know that, man, you have similar work ethic than I do. You come every day, you bust your butt from sun up to sundown, man, and I know you don't get recognized, but, we got a forum here to be able to recognize you, and hopefully you guys will pull him aside and kind of give him some recognition in the efforts that he do. And with that being said, I want to turn it over to DeAndre to let him say a few words. He says a lot of words in the locker room, but I know he's kind of shy and bashful in front of the camera. So go ahead, DeAndre.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Dartis. I'd like to thank Windsor for letting me come back here and play. Coach and Dartis for bringing me back. Like they said, I wanted to be the first to sign so I can get everybody else back so we can repeat on the championship, because it ain't gonna be right if all of us ain't here to repeat or just go at it again with everybody that was here last year. And I'm a family person. I love family, so all of them is like my brother. So I want all of them to come back. That's why I signed first. But we got to move on if we got to move on. So that's it. But I like coming.
All right, thanks, guys. If you want to open up to any individual questions while we're up here on the table, feel free to ask while everyone's watching. If no one has any questions, then they'll be available for individual comments, interviews on your own after we complete them.
Thanks, Dylan.
If there's any questions here, you guys feel free to go ahead. Everyone's good? Okay, so it's
sorry, Dylan, I just have one for DeAndre. Have you reached out to some of the other guys already?
Talk to them like
trying to work on them?
Yeah, I talk to them like every week. I talk to at least one of them every week. I talked to Steph all last week. Talked to Chris like 3 times. I text Dunk almost, every 2 days. I talk to Cornell every day because he's in Chicago, so I talk to everybody. So.
Are you getting any sense of, are you making inroads and convincing them?
Yeah and no. I really ain't gonna pressure them because they got to do what's best for them and they families and they children. So I'm gonna just wait, and then by me doing this, it might just open their eyes up and just come back.
Coach Jones, how much do you anticipate getting better each year? You won a championship in Golden State, but does it get that much better this year?
It's going to get better. The players are steadily improving. Teams are out in Vegas trying to recruit new players. So I anticipate the league growing immensely for the upcoming season. And that's why we've been hard at work trying to recruit and get our core guys to sign, and then also to be able to build on that. London was the 2-time defending champion, and PEI came at them 2 years, and we were a rival with those guys, and now everybody's going to be coming at us. I talked to the Brampton coach, and he was out there in Vegas, so every team is getting better, so we can't sit back, and we got to go out there and try to get better.
How will the roster changes made at the league level that were announced earlier, how does that change your approach with putting your roster together?
With the addition of adding another Canadian, that now instead of having a Canadian that, 1 or 2 Canadians that just fill the roster, now we have to go out and get Canadians that's going to play. I mean, ultimately, this is a Canadian-based league, so in the future, I can foresee 5 and 6 Canadians being on the team. So what we have to do is we have to go out and get players that's capable of playing in this league. We had a combine with Canadian players. Our former Windsorite was in that camp, and we're just going out to try to upgrade our Canadians so that they can be able to contribute. We had Kevin Lazelle and Papa Pong that were good players for us, and now we're going to get 2 more that's able to play and compete to be able to help our team be successful.
Into this.
I'm gonna put as much energy as needed. It's part of my progression, to being able to coach and then also to be able to do some of the things in the office administration-wise. So I'm looking forward to it. It gives me an opportunity to go out on the road a little bit more, to see what other teams are doing and try to build the Windsor Express into a first-class organization. And that's what one of my goals is right now, is to do that.
It's very gratifying. I'm watching the development of the organization, and my responsibility is to make sure that we put the proper tools in place to keep things moving forward. So the first one, with Coach Jones being put in a position to have more control over operations for his players, I think that, or basketball operations as a whole, I think that's important. He's done a great job. And just a testament is DeAndre. We've watched his development for 2 years. So we've seen him for 3 years, and we really wanted him around anyway from day one. We got lucky enough to get him at the end of the season, and with him came a lot of challenges for us. He's a great kid. When I tell you he's great, he's a great kid. So it's really gratifying to see him step up as a leader first and say, I want to repeat this. That takes courage. And to sit down and negotiate to get to a point where you're able to say that is what he did. He didn't just jump and do it. He negotiated like a man should, like a player should, and got to a resolve. And so I was really proud to see that he was able to do that. So both announcements are very important. We also have some very big things in store for DeAndre. So he's here now. We're treating him very good this week. We're entertaining him like you do a great player. He's housed for a week or for 5 days. We're feeding him and entertaining him and treating him good. So we're excited that he's able to be here and coaches in the position he's in.
Definitely, I'm constantly trying to improve. I remember my first year last year and getting back into coaching. I had been out for 3 years and just trying to get my feet back under me in terms of preparation, film watching, and things like that. So now, the second year to be able to have a championship under my belt, now it's constant improvement. I know other teams are be coming at us, so that means that I got to work that much harder on the basketball end in terms of schematically, in terms of recruiting the players, in terms of just making our organization a first-class organization.
Coach has had several of the players very close. And I expect 4 announcements very soon. I'll probably do them all at once. I think he may have spoke with you. I think Kevin Lazelle, George Good, Papo Pong, and one more will probably fall in the fold together. So we do expect it, Dom.
Very important to me because now I got someone where I can say I'm going to go play next year. I ain't got to wait around and check overseas and stuff like that. If that happened, it happened. But right now I got Windsor right now, and it's my home, and I'm willing to come here and play.
You know what? I didn't say it up there on the podium because, you know, a lot of people might have taken offense to that. But, you know, you have favorites, and DeAndre is one of my favorites because I've seen his development, I've seen his maturity, I've seen his growth. So to have a guy come out there and be the anchor, you know, he's a big guy. So to be able to be an anchor on our team in terms of leadership and being the first guy to sign. And now everybody respects DeAndre, not because of his physical presence, but just because of the type of guy he is. So if they see that DeAndre is committed to us and know that we're going in the proper direction, we hoping that a Stephon Beno will follow, or Darren Duncan, or George Good, or Kevin Lazelle. Those type of guys will come on and sign so we can get ready for business to go ahead and repeat our championship.
Coach was a big part, and all the players was a big part. Now, I know they ain't signed yet, but by me being a key component in signing, I think I can get everybody back.
Well, the league is really put itself in a position to be successful. Going into season 4, no one expected that we would have a national media contract. We do. We've signed with BN Sports. Dom, you've been right there with us and covered us. And this gives us a greater opportunity to spread ourselves across the world and let everybody know about the National Basketball League of Canada. So from that standpoint, I think is a great improvement by itself. I think we've really solidified ourselves by making sure we are a Canadian product, by improving to 4 Canadians. And I think you'll see that escalation process continue over the next 5 years, where we make sure that the players themselves are represented from Canada and that this is a Canadian product. And it makes it tougher on the operation side and selection and things. But you know what? It makes it bittersweet because this is truly a Canadian professional league. It's our highest level of play. And the league itself is really supporting, ensuring that those things are in place.
I think it's the growth is amazing. You know, when I was playing basketball, one of my coaches told me players and teams and organizations are built in the summer. And with that being said, you have your Brampton A's who came in second place and PEI who came in second place in the league. Those teams are out there recruiting players. They're out there in Vegas trying to get better. And that's what we got to do, and that's what the league is about. So with being able to add that other Canadian and other players coming and finding out that this is a credible league, this league will be on TV, that has a TV deal. So it's just developing. And then each and every year the league, in my opinion, is getting better.
It's good. All my life I've been winning championships, so it ain't nothing but to go in and try to win another one. Because there's going to be a bust of a season if you don't even make it back. So you got to try to make it back. Everybody aiming for us. Like last year, teams only started aiming for us because we was in first place and we was winning games, we on a 12-game winning streak. But years before that, the first season when I was in London, people didn't care about Windsor, like Windsor. But now everybody got to come play us because they know we the best team in the league right now.
I do see a long run in the Windsor Essex area. One of the things is that we've had is a challenge from day one. Dom, you've been right there. You've seen everything. You've seen the highs and lows. I think the community, both business as well as just a common community, have embraced us. I think the business community is now beginning to come around and come on board a little bit more. From day one, I expected a rough road. And a lot of times, even though I was upbeat and happy, and I understood that it was a process. It took some time. It was a little bit at a time. And so my expectation is that it will continue to they will continue to be supportive. We definitely be here. And we see ourselves really going after a second championship to really improve our position.